is this
An
show?
hour, we'll be here for an hour. If you have to split out. We understand, but
Okay.
we'll be here for an hour from 12 to noon.
All right.
So this is Money Talks, and so we're going to be talking about some things as it relates to Columbia Savings and Loan Bank in the community, and how it what role that it plays in the community, Pastor Lewis. And Columbia is not a stranger to you. You've done some work with uh, some got some loans from Columbia. They finance some work that you've done in community. Matter of fact, you've done quite a bit of work in the community over the years.
Yeah,
I know you
with
don't like to talk about it a lot, but I know the work that you've done as relates to housing and
right.
being able to access income to make sure that the work is done. And Pastor, and that's not always a great thing. It's not an easy thing, is it?
Yeah, we've done a lot of, rehabs and made homeowners. Now it's up to about 60 since 2015. And we didn't really have any money. So we did it with our with our credit restoration program. And so we would take people, help them with their credit, and then they would get enough credit to rehab a house, get one from the city, rehab it, then go to the bank, get a loan, and then they could use that as their mortgage. And we did that over and over again until the city told us that we really couldn't do that. I don't even know why they said that. They said we
Maybe you was
do
too
it.
successful or something like that.
No. They said something about the money wasn't, really. I forgot the term they used. I wish I could remember. Wow, that's bad. Anyway, so we had to find another way to do it, and then I just went to Columbia, and I just said, hey, we rehab houses. Can you lend me the money, and we'll pay you back as soon as the house is done, and we sell it. And that's how we started working with Columbia Savings and Loan.
Yeah, yeah. So Columbia Savings and Loan was really a great help. I remember when you first came, you came to me, and we went in, and Mr. Garrett was president at that time, and we went in and we talked, and we was able to make some things happen, and everything worked out real good.
Yeah, he kind of stretched out there with me for a moment, and because I really didn't want a mortgage and I didn't want a traditional loan. I just wanted to get some money so I could rehab a house. And before that, we were getting money from folks who was charging us 50% on our money.
Wow.
So if we got like, if we got 30, 40 grand, they wanted 50% of that 30, 40 back on their money, man. And that's what we had to do to get it done. I mean, we wouldn't lose the money. We just didn't make no money.
Yeah.
But then when we went to Columbia, then it was like 7%. I was like, thank you, and then we started to at least have some money in our bank account so we could keep the organization going. But, it wasn't a lot of money to be made in rehabbing these houses because, there was so much damage to the houses and you really couldn't sell them for a lot of money in different communities.
Yeah.
But we managed to make some really nice houses because when we do houses, man, we do it, man.
I looked at some of the work you guys.
It's a nice family gonna move in that house, because we just make them beautiful, and because we didn't want to do houses because we wanted our members from our churches to go in those houses, and Columbia helped us do that, man.
And that's a good thing about Columbia Savings and Loan Banks. A lot of people, Pastor Lewis, a lot of people really in this community, they really don't understand the value of Columbia Savings and Loan as a small bank in the community. Because if you look at this area right where we're sitting right now on 20th and Capitol, man, we don't see any banks around here.
Hey, man, I tried to I tried to talk to pastors that I was in contact with, and I said, man, we should just all at least put some of our money in Columbia. That should be like our really, our focal point is to build up this bank so that they could be strong as ever, and we could have a place where we could go when we really need to be financed for things. And you know, I guess, you know, with people and other banks and other relationships, you know, I kind of gave up after a while. But then I went and then I said, well, I'm gonna deal with Columbia, you know. So I started getting loans to do, excuse me, to do homes, and then I even put my mortgage with Columbia.
Man, that's
You know,
good
and
right
then
there.
you know, and then you know, the state was not treating them like I thought they ought to, because they were really struggling,
Yeah.
you know, to keep things together. So they had to, you know, they had to live up to all these standards that weren't usually standards that bank have to adhere to.
hmm
So they passed that on to me, you know, because you know when I got the loan, I was like, "Whoa, why you need all this and this and this?" They said, "Well, you know, we having, you know, some issues with the people who help us, so you know, we just got to make sure everything is tight." So you know, but that's what you have to deal with when you black in America, man. You always got to be 10 times better, man. And if we got our if we would take that bank, because you need banks.
You need
You know,
banks.
if you want to have a community, you
You
better
gotta
have a
have some
bank.
banks.
Yeah, you better have bank. You better have control of your water,
Yeah.
and you know you need to have control of your politics. You
Yep.
need to have control of your housing.
Yep.
You know, so we don't really have neighborhoods, man. I mean, we don't really have a community. We got neighborhoods because we don't control anything,
Yeah.
Pastor. And that would have been something that we could have used, you know, building around that Columbia Bank to really have, you know, a community, man.
Yeah.
Because the rest of things would fall in place. You know, you got to have places to buy food. You know, we need to own things. You know, we used to have these gas stations, man. We used to own
I remember
businesses
that.
everywhere,
I remember
man.
that, yeah.
But now in Milwaukee, one of the most talented cities in the world, if you ask me, there's a lot of talent here.
Yep.
But we haven't pulled it all together and made sure that we work together to build up community. And because look, we last in housing,
You say, you know, I mean, that, you know, when you
we
talk about,
last in business
Yeah.
ownership,
yep,
we last in health. Man, Milwaukee's probably last in almost everything that's supposed to be good for people.
right up there at the top, last and all of it. You know, and that is that's why Columbia Savings and Loan was founded by
It's a valuable commodity,
right.
and we ought to be using
Wilbur.
it, man. Man, you know, every preacher in town, if you got a church, we ought to at least take 10% of our money and put it in
And
Columbia.
Columbia Savings and Loan.
Yeah, just to build that joint up, man.
Yeah.
You know, I was listening to somebody who said, you know, Minister Farrakhan said that, man, our spending power in America is 1.5 trillion.
That's a lot of spending power.
So if we all put 10% aside, guess what that is, man? 10% of 1.5 trillion.
That's a whole lot of money.
That's 100. That's 100. Over 100 billion. Somebody do the math for me.
Do the math and call it on the over here.
It's 1.5 billion,
Yeah,
man.
that's a whole lot of money. Yeah, sure. We have a lot of spending power.
But that'll be money on hand.
On hand.
To build communities. But see, we don't work together, man. And that's the same thing that needs to happen, you know, dealing with this Columbia Savings and Loan. But it needs to go both ways too. We need to support that bank, and they need to support community, and that's important that happens.
See, and that's why we're going. See, Columbia really had been. I've been a part of the bank, Pastor Lewis, when I first when I started my church in 1993, and you know we met in different places, YMCA, the school, and things like that. And then we finally bought our building right up the street here, 3701 North Titonia, St. Timothy Baptist Church. And we had been in existence. We organized in 93, and then 95, we bought the building. And I knew that that if I went to another bank, one of the bigger banks, I wouldn't have got the loan. But we went to Columbia Savings and Loan, and the president at that time was President George Gary. He took a chance on Columbia.
He took a chance on a lot of us.
Yeah,
man.
he did, man.
He
He took a chance on me. For 2 years out here, man, trying to pastor a church. Didn't know anything about pastoring, but the Lord had made it possible that we had the money to put down. You know, I mean, we qualified. And he said, okay, well, you're going to do it. You qualify, you got the money. We're going to make it happen. And so that's the thing that community banks do. They do those type of things to help people that if they went to another bank to try to get money, and then they can have money in the bank.
Man,
See, a lot of pastors got money in these big banks, but watch this, pastor. they can't get a loan from the bank.
Right. You know, speaking of that, when we got our loan for Pastors United, I had to put up my credit because I had like a 777 credit score. And
But
my
you know,
wife
when you
had like a 780 something.
yeah,
So we had to like sign for those loans, you know, but it was our organization.
Yeah.
You know, it's the community's organization. So I was willing to take that chance. Now I could have got a loan from somebody else, but you know, it would have cost me, you know, doing a whole lot of other things. I would have had to jump a whole lot of other loops because these banks don't want to give black folks no
they don't want to
loans,
give you
man. But Columbia said, you know, we will do it, but we just had to follow through on some things to make sure that it was all tight because they have to walk a tight rope.
Yeah.
Because we don't have enough people supporting the organization, the bank. And that needs to change, man. People need to support that bank. As a matter of fact, I was intentional about going there for my loans because, you know, I want to tell people, man, I'm at Columbia. We're going to try to make this happen. We're going to try to make this work. We're going to put our money there. You know, like I said.
And you know, I was right there with you when you started with
it. Yeah. I got my, I put my mortgage, you know.
That is great.
In Columbia, man. And I did that, you know, with a little bit of sacrifice. You know, my wife was like, I said, no, this is what we're going to do.
You know, it's the same thing with me.
We need to support this bank.
Sure. And you know, the same thing, like I was saying, man, I've been now affiliated with the bank since, think about this, Pastor, 1995. And a lot of people in this city right now don't know anything hardly about that bank, but they're learning about it. They're learning about it now. And I've been on the board of the bank since you know, since 2019, you know, and
wow.
me and the current president of the board of the bank now, Attorney Ernest Jones, and we actually, he and I came on the same time, and he's doing a great job. Like you talked about some of the issues that the bank, but all of that stuff is being just like turned around, you know, and being straightened out, and the bank is really, Pastor, in a great position now to do those things that this community really need.
That's good, man.
The community really need a solid, strong black bank in the community.
I'm about to get another house, man.
Well, hey, you know, come by and talk to us. Come on by and talk to us. Really, you know,
no, I'm telling you,
yeah,
really,
come
I'm
on
not
by and talk
kidding you,
to
man. I'm
because you know, I think you'd like to say the two you had, you finished that. You sold those.
You see, the one I'm about to sell. You know, we had a little bit of issue with that one because of contractors, but it's right over there.
Right across the street there, huh?
You can see it.
Yeah, good neighborhood, right across the street.
Yeah, it's right over there, you know, and it's going to be worth somebody having a beautiful home. You can trust me on that one because when we do them right.
That is great.
It's beautiful. Trust me.
So just remember, you get ready to get that other loan to build a house, you know where to come, right?
You know?
Come on down. And so that's what we're asking. We're asking the community to know, to look and just look at the bank. Because the bank is doing a great job. The bank is doing great work. We got good employees at the bank, good leadership at the bank, good management at the bank. That's really, you know, pointing the bank, so to speak, Pastor, in the right direction.
Yeah, man.
And that's what we need.
You know, people need to understand how we need to cultivate our communities with finance, man.
Yeah.
And if we got this bank, you know, we ought to be using it because I'm gonna tell you, man, and I know I'm repeating myself. You go to these other banks, man, they don't really want to give you a loan, man. If you're black, man, you gotta go through so much, man. It's just, you know, it's just so much mistrust for our folks who want to get loans that, you know, it's hard. And I'm not just saying that just because, you know, I want to, you know, put down other banks. I'm saying that because it's true. You know, we got to, you know, and that's part of financing. And you got to make sure that you get your credit in order.
Yeah.
You know, that's the other thing we do, man. We do credit.
I remember, Doc, you said it was 2015, right? When we kind of like.
When we started doing houses.
Yeah, 2015.
With no money, man.
With no money. And I remember not only what we do was we was going to do the houses, but we were going to help people that wanted to buy.
We did help
people that wanted to buy the houses, whose credit wasn't right. We were gonna help them get the credit right, and so that they can get to qualify
And that's
for the
what we
house. But
did.
watch this.
A lot of people don't
You did it,
understand
man.
that.
You did it,
That's
and you didn't
right.
charge them.
Right.
Man, if you're gonna go get your credit right any place, anywhere, you're gonna have to pay something.
Yeah, they
And we
charge
help
like
people to do that, man.
$300-400 a month.
Yeah. To get that credit right. And then once they got the credit right, man, that's why you sold 60 houses.
Say, man, made homeowners.
Homeowners. And that's what this community, you know, in 1924, Artie and Wilbur Halyard was going through the same thing that we're talking about right now. 1924, Milwaukee, a place for black folks, and one of the things that black folks was having trouble with was housing. Weren't able to get finances. And matter of fact, that's why they started the bank, because the other institution wouldn't lend us money. Now that the bank just celebrated, Pastor, 100-year anniversary. The sixth oldest bank, one of the sixth oldest black bank in the country. 100-year anniversary.
That's
and watch this, man. Watch this. And what you're talking about is housing, accessing finance to get housing. We're going through the same thing that they was going through 100 years ago. What's up with that? Do we have a caller? Go ahead, caller.
Yes. Good morning.
Hi, how you doing?
Good morning, gentlemen. I didn't hear the sweetness of Attorney Coyle in there this morning, so I had to make sure that she wasn't too far under the weather there.
No. She just had me to sit in for her.
Okay, well, that's okay. Well, good morning to her and family as well as you, gentlemen. Tyrone Davis speaking. Good morning, Mr. Rideout. Good morning, Mr. Carvey.
Good morning.
Yes, sir, and good morning. Quick, it sounds good what I'm hearing, but I mean, even with the Biden administration, any administration, but how does the bank look to work with, presidential administrations and, whether it's Biden, Trump, because you hear this stuff about Elon Musk getting all these grants and monies and stuff. And now here he is a trillionaire, we can't get none of that money back. So how does a Columbia Bank work with presidential administrations to say, well, you're giving out grants and stuff to people like Elon Musk, how can you work with us? So, I'll keep it basic as that, simple and basic as that. But, that's basically the thrust of it. If they're giving out money like that to Elon Musk, why not Columbia then? Thank you. And I'll listen over the air. Thank you.
Pastor, thank you, caller, for that comment and the question. That's a good question. So what we have to do, the work is never done. We was out here working.
I can start off by saying, man, you don't get money unless you got money.
Yeah.
People are,
exactly.
So you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's why we need the community to come on in and build up that treasure chest.
Exactly.
And then you could demand help. You don't have to keep begging.
You don't have to keep begging.
You don't have to be begging people, man. We have the resources in our possession to get what we need.
That's right. Right. We have break. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go to a break. Go ahead. Okay, I'm Pastor Moses Fuller, St. Timothy Baptist Church, Director at Columbia Savings and Loan, sitting in this morning for Sister Attorney Cole Players. And this is Money Talks, and my guest is Pastor Greg Lewis. He's a president of Pastors United, and he's also did a lot of business with Columbia Savings and Loan. So, Pastor, we were just talking about, the guy that asked the question, caller that asked the question, how do we, who gets access some of the money? You said people that have money access money. Now just think about this.
But
One black bank,
and then
Pastor.
the other thing is you got to ask for it.
Yeah, one black bank, in the city of Milwaukee, and we know with all of these black folks in this community that we could have more than one black bank because actually the money is there. It's what we actually do with the money. You make the money, but you don't keep any of it. You make the money and it goes right back at. Don't circulate in the neighborhood. Comes in and it leaves. They say if money is really gonna do a neighborhood good, it have to circulate 4 or 5 or 6 times at least, right? 4 or 5 times in the neighborhood, just on one time, and the money circulates one time, then it's gone to somebody else's neighborhood. It have to stay in the neighborhood that it's in.
Yeah, it don't circulate at all.
Yeah, just
with us,
spend it, it's gone.
Not one time.
Yeah. So basically, with Columbia Savings and Loan, the only black bank in the city of Milwaukee, the 6th oldest black bank in the community, in the nation, we shouldn't be having any problem with co-investors. People really investing in that bank, having money at that bank. This bank can thrive if the people make a concerted effort. And that includes the bank making a concerted effort to reach the people, to let the people know that, look, this bank is here for you, as it was 100 years ago when it was started by Wilbur and Artie Halyard over in 1924. The purpose of the bank, Pastor Lewis, was to make sure that black folks in the community of Milwaukee had access to capital, and they wanted to get housing. Just like you're doing now with Pastor United, they didn't have access to housing, and that's still a problem. Why is that?
Yeah, because I already said it. We go to the banks that exist now, and they really don't trust black clients.
It doesn't make any difference where your credit is.
Yeah, man, because I told you I had 777. My wife had like 780, almost 800, and they still, put us through a lot of stressful situation. And so I just said, if I'm gonna go through all this, I might as well just go to Columbia and see if we can support that situation. And I'll tell all my friends, man, I'm at Columbia. Why don't y'all come on over? We're gonna try to build this up. And that's what we've been doing. So I had they finance 2 rehabs lately. I'm talking about the last one, but I had 3 loans, 2 rehabs, and my mortgage. I mean, it's like, wow. So,
So you've done 3 houses with it.
No, I done more than 3 houses with them. I said the last time I got a loan, I got 3 loans. Last time I got a loan from them. But I've been doing lots of houses. We've been doing lots of houses, and we just started working with them lately because the city wouldn't let us continue to use credit cards to rehab houses. They said that money wasn't stable enough. That credit card money. I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, what you talking about, man? The man got 250 grand on his credit card. He can't rehab a house.
Yeah.
And then, once you rehab the house, look, man, it was really slick. Once you rehab the house, you got the house is worth 150 grand. So you can get 80% on the house. That's 150 grand. You take that money, the 80%, pay off your credit cards. And we usually have people with like 20, 30 grand in the bank when they got finished. Wow. I said, what's bad about that?
Nothing is bad about that.
They just don't like us building ourselves up, man.
See, that's
and we did. I got to tell you, man, Mayor Barrett. I went to him, and he gave us homes, man, and we did all those homes, and they got so many houses they don't even know what they got. They didn't even know we finished the houses, so they had us on this do not sell to list. I said, why? He said, because y'all ain't done the houses. I'm like, huh? Y'all just don't know they done. You know, they don't even know what they got. So they put us on the don't sell us no houses no more list. I was like, man, I had to go back down there, show them that we had done all the houses. And by the way, it was 18 of them. We did 18 houses. And then, you know, they took us off the list. As a matter of fact, you know, that project over there in Garden Homes,
Yeah.
we was going to do that. You know, we had some folks who were going to invest in our community.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, it fell through because the guy at the last minute, he didn't want to do it. So then 30th Street Corridor, you know, they took it over. But we had got starting money from the city, like $250,000 to start, you know, and that would only been for the architecture and, you know, getting people pulled together and all that kind of stuff because the rehab costs so much more.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, that just go to show you, you know, the faith that they had established, that we had established in that situation. And, you know, the people who had us on that do not sell to list, they was astonished that we got that $250,000. They said, man, what this cat doing? I said, no, I'm doing homes. Y'all the only ones that don't know it. You know, my point is this, man, they got all these homes in the city of Milwaukee, but our community get treated real bad when it comes to getting those homes, man.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you know, they make it so difficult for me to go get a house. You know, the last time I tried to get a house, you know, this cat who I was working with, I ain't gonna say his name, but if he ever do it again, I'm gonna say his name all over town. No, really, I mean that too. He knows who I'm talking about. But he was telling me that he needed my finances along with the organization's finances. Man, I had to give him Pastors United, Souls to the Polls, my finances. I had to give him a stretch of my bank account transactions and all that kind of stuff.
Before you came to Columbia, right?
No, I had to, you know, I just had to prove that I had the money with Columbia. So
that was before with this other guy.
Yeah, I'm talking about with the city, man.
With the city, yeah.
They didn't want to give me homes, man. And then after all of that, man, the city worked for us. And then after all that, this dude gonna say to me, he said two things to me that I really didn't like. But, you know, I let him go and I let him have a pass because, you know, he really didn't know me. Yeah. I'm like, dude, you don't know me, do you? Because I ain't going to just let stuff go. No, I just want you to understand that. So he said, man, I'll be glad when this is over. This is a nightmare. I said, nightmare? Oh, what I'm asking you was rightfully a question that I need to know about. And for you to answer me, you think that it's so difficult that it's a nightmare. And so he was really, you know, really not treating me like a human being. You know, he was treating me like a you know what, right? Yeah. I bet he didn't talk to white folks like that. Yeah. And then when we got finished, because I dug into him, you know, I called my alderman, I called the mayor. I said, hey, man, this cat, he out of order. I called his boss. And when I got finished, you know, he was saying to me, at the end, I said, hey, man, you know, nothing personal. I just want to take care of business. Dude said to me, as long as we know who we are. I said, man, what does that mean? As long as we know who man, you ain't nobody. And don't make me have to prove it. No, really, because he worked for me.
Yeah.
And that's how they treat us at the city, man. Yeah. And people need to, and I'm saying this because I'm getting ready to gather up and we're going to get some of them houses, man.
Well, you know, you get the houses. You know why you?
No. Yeah. We're going to get some of them houses because I'm finished with this election. And now we're going to get some of these houses. I got one more election that I got to adhere to. That's the Supreme Court Justice of Wisconsin. You know, one of the justices are leaving. So we got to really, you know, push getting people out to vote for a Supreme Court judge. And it's going to be important because the balance of power would either be conservative or progressive. So we got to really push to get a Supreme Court justice there. But after that, not only do I want to talk about these houses in the city, I want to talk about building houses all around the state because, you know, they got this organization called WIDA.
Yeah.
with millions of dollars,
Millions,
man. I mean, millions of dollars, and it's just sitting there. And we need housing. We that does housing. And what we're trying to ask them is say, man, let's take some of that money and just use it to attract other money. You don't even have to spend the money. Just use it to attract other money. So we want to attract about 2.5 billion. 2.5 billion so that we can build like 35,000 low-income homes for the state, because black folks ain't the only ones who don't have money to pay these rents, man. People better understand that. That's all over the state. And then we want to have, build about 10,000 one-family homes in the state. So we said 2.5 billion. You could take the money you got and you can use that as leverage to pull in that 2.5 billion, and we could do what we need to do to build up houses in Wisconsin. It's a housing shortage.
It's a housing shortage.
It's like it's about like 40, 50,000 house shortage. So we said, okay, well, let's do this. And he didn't want it. The guy who's in charge of WIDA right now didn't want it, he didn't want to work with the people who I was working with, because some of them, all of them weren't Democratic. I said, man, but we black. I mean, man, what you want to do? You want to win, or you just want to be right? Man, I want to win. So we got to do what we got to do. So not only are we talking about these houses here in the city, because Milwaukee is the worst city for home ownership, the worst big city for home ownership in the whole nation.
Yep.
For black folks. You know that, right?
Yep, we know that.
And then we talking about not only that, man, we going even further. We want to build houses all over the state so people all over the state can have homes that they can live in, man. You got people paying like 15, 16, 17, 18,
for rent,
$100 a month rent, man. Yep. When they could buy a house and pay $500 a month mortgage, pay your taxes and insurance. So it'll come up to about $900 a month. And you own a home, man. Come on, man. This ain't checkers, it's chess.
Yeah.
Man, people got to understand. Now, if you could go get a loan from Columbia, get you a home, that means you got to get your credit right and you got to have a job. But still.
And a lot of times these people have jobs.
They
just don't have the credit. They might not understand the significance of credit. And that's how we come in. We can help them with the credit.
That up. Yeah. But my point is this. People need to get ready to help fight. They need to be with me on this fight, because, I ain't going to be able to do this by myself. People going to have to help me struggle with this. Man, we need to get this 35,000 low-income homes in our state and this 10,000 new one-family homes in our state. But we're going to have to fight because they don't want to spend money on us. But we're talking about spending money on the whole state. And that means that everybody wins. And that includes us. So, after I'm going to start this battle like now, but I can't really focus until after April when we get this, new Supreme Court justice. And but we're gonna be fighting, man. We're gonna be fighting to get housing, man, because housing is horrendous here.
It really is.
You got somebody who got to spend all their money on housing,
rent,
unless you get rent assistance.
Yeah.
But if you don't have rent assistance, man, you got to pay about $1,400 for a real good home here.
And I know a lot of them doing that. I said, man, you paying that much money
a month,
for
man.
Rent.
And man, just think, if somebody only making $15 an hour, that's a lot of money, man.
Everything is going on just trying to pay the rent.
But the minimum wage is $7.75 now?
$7.50 or something like that. $7.50.
Now, if you're making that, you ain't getting no house.
Nope. No, you're not gonna get a house.
You got to get about 3 or 4 other people to come with you to rent a house.
Yeah.
Man, see, so, we really do have serious issues with, finances here in the city. And if we build up our community, that means, you got water, medicine, finance. Yeah. You got to have all those things in place for a community. We got neighborhoods. We just go there and we just live, but we need communities that we can, so you need shopping, you need food. A lot of places are food deserts. So you need all these things
and food deserts and then bank deserts.
Yeah.
Like, right around here, man, like I say, right in the banks, you don't have to go that far east.
Pretty soon,
you have to go that far east, Pastor.
We ain't gonna have no Walgreens. They closing all them Walgreens, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so we got to stand up and fight, y'all. Man, look, I keep telling folks, I say, hey, man, y'all gotta, if you remember the Road Runner, right?
Yeah.
You remember the Road Runner when Wile E. Coyote had the anvil on the mountaintop and the Road Runner was down there, and Wiley was finna drop it on his head. And the Road Runner, what did he say? Beep beep. And then he move out the way. Well, we don't say beep beep, and we don't move out the way.
Come on, man.
We just let the anvil fall on our
head, man. We got to do better than
yeah, there's another dead Road Runner.
and see, that's our power, man. That's our power in this
We don't
community.
do nothing, man. Hey, man, move, man. Hey, man, you don't stand there, move.
Pastor, and really. Really, Pastor, that's our power in this community. We got all these churches, we got all of these pastors that, whatever, pastor, you can do what you want to do. But like you were saying, man, if we want to build community, you know what I mean? Like you said, we need finances, we need strong banks,
man, you need to control,
we need strong neighborhoods.
You need to control your water.
Yeah.
You need to control your money. And you
Definitely
need to
your
control
money.
your medicine.
Yeah.
Man, for real.
Yeah.
And we don't have that, man.
Yeah.
We don't own businesses. See, if you go down National and Mitchell, man, all them businesses are owned by them people in that community, man.
Yeah.
Man, you go down here.
It used to be owned by.
It used to be.
Yeah.
Now we got barbershops, salons, and do we got any car repair shops anymore? We ain't even got car.
Yeah, I remember when I was in the 70s.
You go in somebody's alley.
Yeah, I was in the 70s, man. Really, when I was in the 70s, man.
Man, I'll be by.
We would get our going to a black-owned, place to get your car repaired.
Yeah.
And that matter of fact, they used to have a bank. I remember in the 70s, you'd have a bank right across the street there.
Exactly.
Right across the street there.
Man,
now,
we could do things, Pastor, but we got to sacrifice for one another, and that takes a lot of humility for one, and it takes, like what I said, sacrifice, man. I mean, but see, we ain't just fighting for us, man, and that's where people get it all messed up, man. We got children.
Yep, it's coming up.
Grandchildren, great-grandchildren. What about them? You got to have a heart, man. You got to be willing to fight. And you got to find something to fight for. You got to find a reason to fight. I got a reason why I fight. Yeah. I don't like to talk about it because it always just kills me. Yeah. But I got a reason why I fight. And and I'm not going to stop until we die.
And I was looking at when I was going to come on today on the show. I was looking at, the Wilbur and Audie Halliard. When they came, and can you imagine the struggle they went through when they came into this community back in
like the
1924? Yeah.
Wow.
And in the type of city Milwaukee was, man, they had black folks.
They had to be
situated. They were downtown on Juneau in the valley down there. They wasn't going in there. They didn't go no further than Walnut.
No, but where was the first bank? Right there on Fond du Lac, right?
It was a little further. I think a little further down.
Oh,
it was a little further.
Yeah, because the old bank is across the street from the new one now.
Yeah. They're on the same side. It's just up the street a little bit.
Okay, on the same side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my point is, man, the vision that they had, and the same thing we're talking about here today, with what black folks are going through now, trying to access capital.
Man, that's access tremendous.
Capital. Yeah, but these people had the drive and the tenacity, man, to say we're going to make this thing happen. Because we're doing it not just for us.
That's magnificent.
For people for our grandkids.
Right.
But then for the community.
Right.
For other black folks that we don't have no relationship with, but we know that they need to be able to access capital in order to build something for their family.
Right.
For a vibrant neighborhood.
Right.
No more. We don't want no more than nobody else. The other neighborhoods want it. It's the same thing other neighborhoods want. That's what we want.
Right.
We want to be able to access house. We want to have a decent house.
I want a house, a white picket fence.
Yeah.
I want to be able to sit on my porch at night and smell the fresh
Exactly.
air.
Whatever.
We all want the
We
same
want that,
thing.
man.
I want to live
good
in
food.
polyester paradise.
Yeah. Now just think about this, man. You know, we talk about food deserts and things like that.
Yeah.
Even if you look at where we are right now on 20th and Capitol, you know, this really, you know, they got a grocery store right across the street there, but it's really not considered a great grocery store, you know, because it don't have the stuff, healthy stuff, you know, your good vegetables and things like that. You know that, you know, people not a lot of care. But that's just a fact. And that's what we want. The same thing when I says, I mean, they got a place over here you can cash your check, you know, but it's not a bank.
Oh my God.
It's not a bank.
Don't
See,
even
that's what
talk
people don't
about
understand
that,
that.
man.
I mean, but that's where we are
Don't
as a
even
community.
talk
That's
about
why,
that.
Pastor, it's so important.
Because don't they get
that we
like
have
10% of your
banks,
check
man.
or something? Or what?
Yeah, they charge you based on how much your check is. It's up and go up.
Wow.
You, that's almost like usury. When the Bible talks
it
about
ain't
usury.
almost.
It is usury. You know, but that's why this bank is so important, that you give people, you know, hope to have a financial
Look,
foundation.
man, I told you I was doing houses paying people back 50% of their money. If you gave me $1,000, I gave you back $1,500 after the house was done. Huh?
Yeah. So, you know,
no, because we were so desperate because we had all them houses, man. We had to get them done, man. Do you know how much it cost to hold 18 houses? The holding cost would bury you. So we just
you got to get them done because the city's going to be on you,
right?
When you're not, you know, violations and things like that.
You. And but then I got to Columbia, man. It was like, you know, 5%, 6%.
What a big difference, huh?
Yeah, it was huge. It was a huge difference, man. And then we had space to have our own money. Before, man, we was barely like, man, you know, we would spend 3 or 4 months doing a house and make like $700. I'm like, no, this is like spinning your wheels here. And you still got to have money to operate. And you know, we used to have a banquet every year, but man, on the banquet,
money out. Yeah,
man, we made about $6,000.
Yeah, that's the
on a banquet,
money, man.
You know, that ain't nothing.
Plus all that hard work.
It had to last you for a year. And then, you know, one time we had a meeting, cats were talking about where all the money at. I said, what money? It was $6,000. That's rent. You know, that's rent we had to pay.
Yeah, that's right. You sure was. You know, so Pastor, so your experience with Columbia Savings and Loan, I know my experience with Columbia Savings and Loan has, and I've been with them, like I said, but you know, it's a tremendous experience. And so I would encourage any community people that listen to the radio show that haven't been to Columbia, don't, you know, stop by. We're right there on the corner of Fond du Lac and North Avenue, 2020 West Fond du Lac. Come on in and open up an account.
It's like 3 streets there. It's 20th Street, Fond du Lac, and North.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. We're on Fond du Lac.
Oh, yeah, y'all on Fond du Lac.
Yeah.
You are.
Go ahead, caller. Caller, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello. Go ahead. You're on air.
Hey, go. Pastor Piles.
Pastor Piles.
Is that Pastor Piles? That's
Yes,
Pastor.
it is.
How you doing, Pastor? Man, you doing?
That's my friend.
Yeah, yeah. I thought he was my friend too, Pastor.
I think he is your friend.
He is my. He don't act right. He don't treat me like he treats you. Man.
Oh, you just don't know how he treats me.
Y'all do.
Well, I know he's my friend.
Pastor's a good man.
He's doing a good job on. So you have this on Sunday morning.
Man, Bobby.
Man, 7 o'clock, boy, he hitting it hard, man. Good show, Pastor. You're doing a great job.
Hey, man.
I want you to know that, man. You know, I make sure, Pastor Powell, I make sure I get up to make sure I hear you before I leave out of the house.
Oh, he tried to get closer to Powell than me.
Go ahead, Pastor.
You know, I just want to say, I was listening and how you talking about the houses that we are doing, and I just want to comment on. I think people don't realize what it takes to keep up them things because.
Pastor, are you on your speakerphone? Pastor, are you on your speakerphone?
Yeah, but I got it up there.
Yeah, take it off speaker. Take it off speaker. Okay.
Yeah, can you take it off speaker?
Yeah.
Go ahead now. You sound good.
But yeah, man, I was just talking about them houses, and I know as we was doing the Let me check.
You got it? Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, so are you
Another call.
go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller. You on there?
Yes, this is Reverend Joseph Jackson.
Pastor Jackson, how you? Another friend of mine. How you doing, Pastor?
Hey, man.
I'm listening to the hardest working preachers in Milwaukee that I know.
Oh,
But I just want to thank you, brothers, for reminding me that I need to get down to Columbia.
yeah, get on down there,
like
Reverend.
ASAP.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been procrastinating for the last year, but I'm gonna hold you guys. Gonna hold me accountable again.
Yes,
There you
sir.
go.
We're gonna hold you. You know, I got your number, Doc. I'm gonna hold you accountable. You know that, right?
All right. I just want to make that holler out, Greg. Looking forward to working with you with the housing stuff too.
Amen. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah. That's
All right.
Beautiful.
Appreciate you,
I look
Pastor.
forward to hear from y'all. All right.
Appreciate
Peace.
Appreciate you, Pastor.
Yes, sir.
God bless you, man. You know, so we got a break, so we'll be right back after the break.
We coming back.
ahead.
Hello, my name is Philip Blake.
Brother Blake, how you doing today?
Philip Blake.
I went to school with you, Greg.
I know. I know.
We got
Blake.
about 4 minutes, my brother. So go ahead on and get that point
I
out
was
there.
trying to get in contact with buying the houses. I was trying to get a hold of Columbia Savings and Loan Bank. They told me I got to make an appointment to get in. I already own property, but I want to get some city houses.
Oh.
And I need a loan.
Okay, well, you know, did you talk to the bank already? Did you talk
They
to
said
them?
they're going to call me.
Huh?
They say they don't take no walk-ins. I got to make an appointment.
Okay, well then get that appointment. Make that appointment. And
What's your name?
I'm Pastor Mose Fuller. I'm one of the directors.
Yeah, tell him Fuller sent you.
Yeah, tell him Fuller sent you.
All right, because my
Tell him
son
Fuller sent you.
We already own some duplexes, and I want to get on board with the city house.
Amen.
Okay, do
But
that.
I need a loan.
Well, you know,
I
you go.
already own a business on 38th and Center. I sell men's suits and Masonic.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but I tell you what,
Yeah.
you come in there and talk to us, man,
Down the street
and
from
something can
Fuller.
work out. It's going to be worked out. But you got to come in there. And,
I'm gonna make it work.
okay, we'll make it work for you.
All
Come
right,
on in
Blake.
there.
I graduated with Blake, man.
Blake a good guy.
man. Yeah.
Okay, brother Blake,
Class of
appreciate your call.
76. Yeah, that's
Appreciate your call.
76. Yeah, class.
Okay,
of
Pastor, is there any closing? Just we got about a minute or something like that. 2 minutes. Close.
I would just say, man, we need to really look at that situation and see how we could build that place up.
Yeah, amen. Just keep on it, and that's
You
what
know,
I
we
would
need
say
to work on it together.
as a director. One of the most important things is we got good core investors. People come in, the bank is there, support the bank, put money in the bank.
Yeah,
You know,
every
support the
Sunday
bank.
we get these offerings and take them to another place that, you know, probably don't even care about us, man. Let's go somewhere where we can work it out.
Amen. When people care about the money, you know, care about the community. That's what the founders of that bank, that's what they were thinking. I know that's what they were thinking because I read about what they were thinking. They wanted to leave a legacy that impacts the community, change community, make a difference in the community.
And now I got to go over here and check out this house we're about to sell where I
Made a
got a
difference.
loan
From
from
Columbia.
Columbia Bank, man.
Amen.
I'm finna go check it out.
Check
right
it out
now.
right now. I'm going to go
Man,
there
we
with
gonna
you see how it
stage
looks.
it, and we're going to sell it.
Amen.
Amen.
So we're out of time. My name is Pastor Mose Fuller. I was sitting in for Attorney Corey Players. Money Talks. My guest was Pastor Greg Lewis. So Attorney Players will be back next week. See you then. God bless you.
AM 106.5 FM.